Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. I'm a little late to the party this year getting the boat ready, but better late than never. Today I've got 4 things to take care of on the boat and motor in preparation for taking it out. The first is the fuel filter. We're going to change that out. We're going to change the primer bulb, and it's not changed, but we're going to clean and gap 6 spark plugs. And the final item, which is kind of unique and new to me, is I'm going to index using index washers the left bank of 3 cylinders or 3 plugs. So, and I'm going to talk to you about, walk you through how I do it. Just as a side note, I don't recommend anybody do this until I validate what's going on here. Perfect. That one's done. Okay. So we're going to try the copper. Okay, so we've completed the spark plug work. In summary, I cleaned and gapped the plugs, and then I indexed each plug. As it turns out, all 6 plugs needed indexing. The way I approached the indexing is I used Moroso index washers. They come in silver, yellow, and copper, and each one has its own thickness. Took the liberty of removing the original washer and replaced it with the required indexing washer. Took cutters, snipped it, and it's real easy to bend and twist and pull it out. It's no big deal. So all 6 are done. They're gapped to 28 thousandths, and we'll see what happens. I don't anticipate anything to go wrong here. The worst scenario is possibly a plug backing out. I torqued to 13 pound-feet of torque, and that's slightly more than Moroso calls for. I think they call for 10, but I wanted a little bit more than that, and we'll see what happens. Fuel filter replacement involves, for me, using a Wix, and that is a 33247 fuel filter. They are not cheap. I typically replace mine every 1 to 3 years, depending on how many hours I use it. Oftentimes, at the end of the season, I will pull the filter and check for water, but I've never found a single drop of water. And I attribute that to using Glastron fuel treatment. Helps keep water dispersed. So I'm going to use a rag to tuck in underneath the filter. And basically you just twist it off. I'm just verifying the part number is the same one as the box, and it is. These filters run up around 20 bucks a pop now. I'd like to look around and see if there's something cheaper to buy. When you pull this off, you want to be careful. There's 2 probes in there that are there to check for water. And there is no water. A little bit of sediment, so I'm not going to pour this back into my tank, even through a filter. So get our filter out. A little bit of 2-stroke oil. And we're going to take that and basically wipe that on the rubber gasket so we don't get any binding when we twist it on. Be very careful getting those probes back in. And what I do is I'll spin it till it stops and then give it another, I usually go 1/2 to 3/4. Don't over torque these. And that's basically it. So last on the list is the primer bulb. And if you guys watched my last outing video, last fall, 2020, you'll remember I had a fuel leak, and what saved my day to get me out for that final run was a tie strap. So I'm doing as one of the viewers, my viewers suggested, and I bought a BRP primer bulb, and we're going to replace this thing. I don't want to rely on these tie straps. See, the arrow points in the direction of the fuel flow, so I did as hard as I could with my fingers and then gave it one click with a pair of pliers. And then I can pump this and get my fuel filter full. Boy, I can tell this one works way better than the other bulb. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up here. We did plugs, fuel filter, and a new primer bulb. And because of the extensive shutdown I did for last fall for the winterizing process, it really simplified my job this year. So looking forward to getting out on the water, and I will have a video of my first outing, so keep an eye out for that. And I hope you guys like this. I will do a follow-up on the spark plugs relative to the indexing. I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out. I think it's going to be a no-brainer, and I don't foresee any issues there, but please hold off on that, at least until I get some time out on the water with this. And I will also verify that the spark plugs have torque, and we'll see where it goes from there. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.